We live? We good?
We're on.
We recording? Fuck yeah. All right. Welcome to the untold story of men. My name is Daniel Bartlett and I am a mindset coach and the founder of the Lion's Den Men's Brotherhood.
And I am Blake Minto, a professional boxer, and I'm an ambassador for the Men's Brotherhood.
Fuck yeah. So the whole reason we wanted to join together and create a podcast was because of men's mental health. I met Blake a few months ago on his way up to the title fight, the WBC title fight. He did a post on Facebook about asking for sponsors and, me wanting to help men reach their full potential. I reached out to Blake and sponsored him and helped him with his mindset up to that title fight, man. And to be honest, I watched that fight. I was sitting really close to the fucking TV screaming at it.
Yeah.
Fucking, he smashed that guy. It was awesome.
Thank you.
Tell me how that went.
Oh, look, the mindset leading up towards the end, I hadn't felt so confident in my prep mentally for a very long time that I have since then.
Yeah.
It helped so much, especially those few hours before, where sometimes you just you're losing what you're doing and you're forgetting, but I was so focused for that fight and I think it showed as well physically when I fought. Yeah, it was the best I've felt mentally in a long time.
Yeah, but you walked into that ring as well, and that song that we anchored some hectic emotions.
It did.
that was really intense. But I really wanted to thank you for giving me that opportunity to help you, guide you through that fight. And fuck, man, I look forward to keep doing that for your next fight.
Well, thanks for the opportunity. It helped. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. So the whole reason we wanted to get together is for men's mental health. There's 9 people killing themselves every single day here in Australia. 75% of that 9 is men. So there's a fucking massive problem going on in society. And what I teach the men in the brotherhood is to be protectors, providers, and leaders. When you can master all 3 of those, you'll be at your true potential as a man, and you'll then be able to protect, provide, and lead your family in a much better life. So we really just want to come on here, share our stories, where we've been, our experiences, where we're going, and hopefully you guys can resonate in some way or another. If you are feeling down in your life, depressed, anxious, whatever, and you resonate with this, leave a comment, reach out, and support us any way you can, whether that's a like, subscribe, or a share. So we're just going to get into the bit vulnerable, authentic. There's going to be some swearing. We're not going to be here to be professional podcasters. We're just here, 2 men trying to share our story. So man, tell me a little bit about your childhood, what you went through.
My childhood, look, it was weird looking back now, strange. I grew up in a house where, my mum and dad provided everything. Everything was awesome. Me and my brother got whatever we wanted. It was sweet. However, looking back now, my mum and dad weren't they weren't so much in love. I feel like they were just there for the mortgage, slept in separate rooms, never showed or taught my brother and I how to be, to express ourselves emotionally.
Yeah.
And I think that caught up with me within my teenage years, and as I started to rebel. So it was a bit strange looking back now. I love my mum and dad; they did everything for me. But it's just looking back, it's sort of, you can see.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit more about that rebel in your teenage years.
Oh man, I was an asshole. Getting into fights, and in Toronto as well. I had to walk outside and I got one. That's how it was. And and just I was kicking holes in walls, punching holes in walls in my own home, running away, going out partying, jumping out of my bedroom when I was supposed to be at home. Just real dumb.
Would you say you struggled with anger a lot?
Absolutely. Yeah, I had problems dealing with all those emotions. Being sad, angry. And that's what I mean. That's, I think, what it stems back from. Yeah.
How did getting into boxing help you?
So growing up, my old man threw me and my brother into footy since I can remember. And then always had this stigma about me, I guess my brother being these hectic footy players, which, I'm a small kind of guy and I don't think I was ever going to be, I think what he wanted me to be, sort of thing. And then I grew up playing footy and played Reggie's for Macquarie Scorpions, and then end up when I was 17 going for when it was in the holidays of when we were off season, so to stay fit. And then I ended up training, and I met my first coach, Daniel Ford, and I thought he was a really good mindset coach as well, especially for boxing.
Fuck yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I might as well have one fight. And then, the rest is history. I fell in love with it.
Holy. And then since you fell in love with it, how many title fights have you had? What titles have you had?
I've had a bunch of regional titles. I've won one world title, New South Wales titles, IBF, WBC. I won the WBF world title. Yeah, so a lot of accolades.
Fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
for
Nice.
my hard work, and
Nice, bro.
yeah.
And you're a father too?
Yes, father of four.
Father of four?
Yes.
Nice. Get your own little footy team together?
That's right. Yeah, 2 girls, 2 boys. So they got their own sparring partners.
Legit. And how old's your oldest and youngest?
My eldest is 13. She's 14 this year, which is wow.
Yeah,
Blows
wow.
my mind. And my youngest is 2 in a few weeks.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. And what about your relationships?
Yeah. So I've got my 3 other children. Are in with their mum. They live with their mum, and I only see them fortnightly. But I think my relationship with my kids is pretty good. As I don't see them really fortnightly, but I'm just trying to be as open and transparent as I can with them.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've shown that, especially with my eldest. She understands, and like now that she's getting older, she's becoming her own person, and she understands. And it's just me slowing that down and talking to her about things and being more emotionally available for her than what my parents were.
Yeah, because you get to like create that safety for her, and then what that's going to do for her when she gets older is she's going to start looking for men that can be emotionally safe for her.
Exactly.
Because fuck, like I don't know about you, but at my young 20s, I was a prick of a man.
Yeah.
And I would hate for my daughter to end up with a man
absolutely.
that I used to be.
That's right, exactly.
So it's really important for us men now, like as we grow up, to be more mature emotionally.
Yeah.
So because we're not just for us and our partners, but for our fucking kids.
That's right, exactly.
So like, what was some of the biggest things mentally you reckon you faced in your life so far?
Well, I mean, last year was pretty harsh. I was in a court case, which was some false allegations were made. And mentally, that I knew if I come out the other side of that, I could do anything. And I just stuck to my guns, and I just kept on, just keeping training and staying at work. And then I come out of the other side, and everything turned out fine. But emotionally, that was the hardest time for me. And when I was younger, when I was depressed, and then tried to hurt myself, and then I had to seek help. So yeah.
Fuck. And that's the thing, man. Like, how important is it to seek help?
It's extremely important. You know what the hardest part for me was? It was walking into the doctors and having that conversation with someone.
I know what that feels like.
Yeah, I don't think I've never been that nervous even before a fight.
Yeah.
My palms were sweating. I was like, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah.
But once I did, even just that simple conversation with the doctor, the weight was just off my shoulders.
Yeah.
And then, things started to roll into place of what I needed medically helped, and to talk to people and stuff like that. Yeah.
And did you have to go through the mental health plan?
Yes. Yeah.
And did you have to wait quite a long time for anything after that?
Yes. Yeah.
I think that's what lets in society now lets us down. So, like, I'm very similar. I had very angry issues in my teenage years as well. Always getting into fights. I think I got suspended 5-6 times in year 10. 4 or 5 of them are for fighting.
Yeah.
Every weekend. I went to Morisset High School, so Morisset and Toronto.
Just around the corner.
Just around the corner, and like it was way
right.
before our time. I remember all the older lads, Morisset and Toronto, used to get into punch-ups all the time, and like just going to a party, just getting into a fight, and just punching holes in walls, and getting kicked out of mum's place into dad's place, and it was just fucking chaotic.
That's right. And I think, man, you look back at it was that generation we grew up in. You know, it was always like that at parties, which was, looking back now, was kind of stupid.
Yeah, very stupid.
Yeah.
But like doing this, so I'm 4 years into doing mental health and coaching as well. I specialize in coaching men and, getting them to understand themselves and reprogramming their subconscious mind and limiting beliefs. And when I worked out my anger, so my old man, I love him to bits. he was a very angry man himself. When we were born in England, and he grew up in that football hooligan stage where it was on the piss, going down to watch the football, punching on, kind of thing. And he was a hardworking man, and him and Mum would argue all the fucking time. And it came to a point where I had to call the police. I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
That's tough.
Yeah, it was real tough. And there was some words he said to me the next day when he got out of lockup, and he was like, this is all your fucking fault.
Yeah, wow.
And I was like,
that's
fuck.
extremely intense for a young man.
Yeah, and I was only 13, 14 at the time.
Yeah.
That stuck with me for a long, long way. And I would just get into, I believed in hitting someone first and then talking about it after. And when I dug deeper about it, so I'd always getting into arguments. And then this one time, Dad just grabbed me about the scruff of the shirt and pinned me up against the wall. And it was like the first time I'd ever thought that he would fucking seriously hit me. And I was only young, so I was about 12. And then I remember after I fucking finished crying in my room, he was upstairs sitting on the recliner, and I've walked upstairs, just fucking took the deepest breath, jumped on top of him, just punched him as many times as I could. And then I ran downstairs into my room, shut the door, and I could hear him coming down the stairs. And I remember thinking, fuck, he's going.
Here we go.
And he walks in, man, and he opens up my door, and he looks at me and goes, "You all right?" And just gave me a little nod. And then walked away. And then from that age, I went, fuck, that's how you get respect.
Yeah.
You need to fucking show violence.
Yeah, wow. Yeah,
You need to
that's
show
it.
violence.
But how about it become a domino effect?
Bro,
Yeah.
100%.
Yep.
So if someone looked at me wrong at a party, guess
Bang.
what I'd do? I'd punch him in the face.
Yeah.
Or I'd headbutt him. If someone said something about me, I'd use violence first.
Yeah, that's
But it
it.
was only when I dug deeper on that, I was like, why am I so angry?
Yeah.
So when I like to like NLP, fucking someone that's really angry is usually sad. So there was like this scared little boy inside of me that just wanted to cry and wanted to be seen for who he was.
That's
but I
right.
was just using anger all the time as a front.
Yeah, and was that majority of your childhood? And how was your childhood?
Childhood was it was great.
Yeah.
So Dad was a provider, Mum stayed at home, Dad worked his ass off. I remember he would go to Sydney and work 10, 12-hour days, and then he'd come back. And then I played semi-professional football soccer from 11 years old all the way up till I was 16.
Yeah, awesome.
So I was playing at the highest level, which meant I was travelling to Sydney for away games, which is every second weekend.
Yep.
So Dad would make sure he would come home, get me straight back into the car, drive me down to Central Coast. I lived at Bottoms Bay.
Yep.
Drive to Central Coast, which is a 40-minute drive. I'd train, come back, do that twice a week, and on the weekends drive to Sydney every second weekend, play, come back. So he did that for 5, 6 years.
Yeah.
Like, that's a great father. And in that concept, I had great opportunity, great childhood, always had things, always had food on the table, roof over our head, had all the things like that. And then at a young age, we were introduced to alcohol. So my brother's 9 years older than me. At his 21st birthday party at home, he had kegs and stuff, and then all his mates were passing me little schooners here and there. And I was like 12, just drinking beers.
Yeah.
I remember someone went around with a video camera, and there's me, drunk, balls haven't even dropped yet. And I was like, fuck. So
On the beers.
On the beers. So I got introduced to alcohol at a young age. And then I just kept drinking. And then soon after that, I found myself around some guys at school that smoked weed. So I got into smoking weed too. So I was playing high-level football, drinking every weekend that I wasn't playing, and smoking weed, and getting into fights.
Yeah.
So my childhood, from a teenage point of view, was, I guess, quite rough, but also quite fun.
Yes. Yeah.
And then going into my 20s, I didn't really have a strong male figure in my life that could teach you how to handle your emotions, or what it's like to be a man in society, or how to provide, protect, lead. I didn't have that really. So from 16 years old, I then went over to England and went over there with my father to play professional football over there. And I played for Aldershot Town, and I also went to college over there. Now, from a young age, remember, like from, I think it was 12 all the way up to school, all I knew was violence. I was drinking, and then fucking all of a sudden, I'm in England.
Yeah.
Because my high school said, you're not coming back to year 11. I'll let you finish year 10, but you're not fucking coming back to year 11.
Yeah.
So Dad goes, look, if you want to make football a career, you're going to have to go to England now.
Yeah, wow.
So we did it. We packed up, fucking went over to England, just me and him. I only lasted a year.
Yep.
went over there, and dad ended up getting a fiance over there, and we moved in with her, and I didn't really get along with her son. He
Yep.
was the same age, and
Yeah.
always clashing with them. And fuck, I ran away a couple of times
Yeah.
when I was over there, and I was getting picked on too in my football team because I was the foreigner.
Yeah.
Even though I was technically born in England, but Aussie accent. Fucking, I was getting picked on.
Yeah.
Those kids felt like I was taking their position. So that took a toll on it as well. And then I really, really missed home. My friends that I had back here, my mum, I hadn't seen mum for like a year being there. And then I came back and I just stopped
And you
playing
just
football.
said that was enough, and you come
Yeah,
back.
I had enough of football.
Yep.
Stopped playing, played with some mates down at Morisset there for a few years. Fucking some of the best times of my life.
Yeah, cool.
Playing at Morisset, and I've met some absolute
Especially with your
legends.
mates.
Yeah. Like I went from playing top level down to fucking playing like mediocre, but we like undefeated for 3-4 years in a row. It was just so much fucking fun. I got a nickname Swan Neck there, which we'll get into a bit later. And it was just amazing.
Yeah, awesome.
But the biggest struggle I had was fucking relationships.
Yeah.
Fucking relationships. So I've got a son too. He's 12 next week.
Yeah.
So I was 22 when I had him, and me and his mum broke up when he was about 1.5. Now I found out, so we were constantly arguing, and then she moved back to her grandparents, and then we started talking again, and then found out she was fucking someone else. So that just tore me to pieces.
Yeah, as it would.
As it would. And then, next steps, mediation, which doesn't fucking work. I'm sure someone here can tell me about mediation.
Absolutely.
Just a fucking handshake. It
Yeah.
means absolute nothing. So then the next step was family court. So then, that's lots of money. So I ended up spending 12 grand in family court. I know people that have spent fucking tens of thousands.
Heaps more. Yeah.
Heaps more. The way I found that's family court, the system is very much against the men.
Men, absolutely. Yeah.
Women have all the fucking power there.
Yeah.
Or first in, best dress, I guess you could say. But even still, if a man was to go in, he's got to work, and then fucking, I feel like the women gets all the control there. And I feel like that's probably the biggest killer for men.
Absolutely. It'd definitely be up there for reasons why. Yeah.
Because the biggest killer in men in Australia from 16, I believe, to 45 is fucking suicide.
Yeah, exactly.
And the biggest reason for suicide is usually leaving your
Not seeing
leaving the kids, not
taking
seeing
the
your
kids.
kids.
Yeah.
So I'd love to touch base on that, on the family court. And then once that, it's not just that, it's the family court, right? And then it's the charges that come with that. So I remember going, it was my turn to have Caden. Mediation said Wednesdays I'll go get him, right? So I got a message saying, "Oh, you're not having your son today." I was like, "Yeah, I fucking am. I'm coming over now."
That's
She's
right.
like, "No, you're not." So, well, I'm going to.
Yeah.
So I rocked up there. Little did I know that she had a boyfriend there at the time. He answered the door. He was fucking saying shit in the background. And then she came to the door, and then fucking an argument broke out. And then he came around the side of the gate, and I was almost at my car, and he was fucking just giving it to me, yelling, swearing. I went, "Oh, fuck this," shut the door, and he threw a punch at me. I ducked it, picked him up, had him in the guillotine lock on the ground. I was just squeezing him real hard, whispering in his ear, "I'm going to fucking pop your head off." And then, because Caden's mum came out, and then her grandma came out, and everyone was, "Fuck, stop." So I went straight to the police.
Yeah.
Sweet, he fucking threw the first punch.
Yeah.
Little did I know that I had no evidence, so I got charged for assault and trespass.
Yeah, wow.
And then little did I know, you can't go to family court until those charges are fucking are dealt with.
Yeah, dealt. Yep.
So that at the time was, good months.
Yeah, that's right.
And then
Long
also
time.
I had to hire a lawyer for that too, which was another 5 grand.
That's right.
So I remember going there, they broke up, so he didn't come to court, so the charges on him got dropped. And then to save money and stuff, I just accepted the AVO.
That's
and
right.
the trespass.
Yeah, it just feels like it's easier.
It's heaps easier.
Yeah, that's right.
Not just financially,
Yeah.
but stress.
That's
as well.
right. 100%.
And
yeah.
the lawyer fucking said that to me. He goes, "Mate, I can walk in there and tear her to pieces, and we could probably get off.
Yep.
Or we can go in there and just accept it all, and then we can move forward to the family charge. It's going to save you half a day financially for me.
Yeah.
And we can process for family court so you can see your son." It's a no-brainer for me.
That's right, exactly.
Fucking no-brainer. So he chose that. 5 months, I got down the line. Hadn't seen my son. Missed his second birthday. 5 months. And then fucking went to family court, man. And that really opened up my eyes. I had a really good lawyer. Hadn't done anything wrong. So there was no drugs. There was nothing else apart from the trespass and the assault on him, which was dropped. There was nothing else. So the lawyer really done well. And she wanted visitation for so many weeks and so many months. She didn't want my son to see me on my birthday, which was in 2 weeks' time from that court day.
Wow.
And I don't know about everyone else, but I really had a good judge. He couldn't really grasp why she wouldn't let me see him. There was no evidence of anything like that.
Yep.
So he pretty much said no to all the things that she said.
Yep.
And I got 2 weeks at 3 hours, and then I got to see him every second week.
Yeah.
What I got.
Yeah.
So I got pretty lucky.
Yeah.
Still spent thousands of dollars. Still missed a certain amount of time.
That's right. Yeah. Time you'll never get back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Another thing that I think I was lucky on was that he was only 2. So him being 2, he's not going to remember this.
Yeah.
Which I think's really, really good. However, what I didn't know was this was going to be a repeating cycle for me in relationships.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So, I was obviously single for a while. I was dating, dated some really good women, and I dated some really toxic women. I've had an ex fucking slice her arm open in front of me.
Yeah.
Lucky didn't cut any tendons, and she just got stitches. Called it quits after that. And then, I was like, only real recently, the last couple of years, when I started diving into mental health and stuff, I started doing breath work and meditation and running again. And I did a 555 where I run 5Ks every 5 hours for 5 days.
Yeah, awesome.
Fucking unbelievable.
Massive.
So I've done that 3 times now.
Yeah, wow.
The first time I ever decided to do it, I just remember a huge wave of just fucking anxiety smashed me. I was like, fuck, can I complete this? I don't know if I can. Is this even possible?
That's right. Especially those early mornings.
Yeah. And what really got me motivated was David Goggins, believe it or not.
Yeah, well, I believe it. Don't worry, I believe that.
And his book, You Can't Hurt Me.
Yeah.
Fuck, man, I'm running down Bar Beach. Listening to
Love this.
book.
Yeah.
2.5 hours later.
Is that the audio book?
Yeah.
It's even better.
Yeah. He's better because he's talking.
That's right.
So 2.5 hours later, I ran 22Ks on the fucking sand. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Fucking this book.
That's
and
right.
And I went, fuck, I want to do something hectic. And then, I created 555.
Yep.
And fuck, man, that first one was hectic. It was
Yeah.
really, really hectic. But what it showed me, and I hope others, was what's achievable.
Yeah, that's it.
Waking up at 1 o'clock in the morning to go run 5Ks and then do it again in 4.5 hours.
That's right.
Fucking chaotic.
Mental resilience.
Yeah.
Builds character.
It really did.
Yeah.
Really did. But just on those relationships again, I met someone, really short period of time, toxic. And again, like I really want to push this with men as well. Like it's you need to take responsibility of your life.
Yeah.
I used to like strive in the victim mentality, and now I can't stand it.
Yeah.
Like it's being a man is just being a man.
That's right.
We got to deal with
Take
tough
responsibility.
shit, but taking responsibility
Yep.
for all the shit that you've created in your life,
That's
no
right.
matter who's
Exactly.
done it, is the most powerful fucking thing.
Yep.
So I used to think, how could she do this? She took money off me here. She used me this way. She said this, broke up with me, got back at me. And when I looked at it, I was like, fuck, you chose to do that, man.
Yeah,
you chose
exactly.
to give her money.
Taking ownership.
You chose to go back with her. You've seen all the fucking signs there, but yet you still chose to go
that's
back.
Right. Yeah, that's it. Exactly.
So I did that, and that was another AVO, which I just could not fucking believe. So I lived across the road from this chick, man, and she called it off like 3 or 4 times within the space of 3 months. It fully mind fucked me.
Yep.
Completely mind fucked me. And after she's called it off, obviously living across the road, we've seen each other all the time. I went to Ellie Beach to visit her mate, and I came back with a fucking knock on the door and got handed a fucking AVO for stalking and harassment, because she's seen me so many times out and about. She's going, oh, he's stalking me.
Oh, wow.
So I've spoken to the police. It's like, well, where's the evidence, and how can this even be a thing? And I got a mate that's a copper as well, and I rang him and I was like, bro, what's going on here? How is this even possible? Like, I thought you need evidence, like I'm getting slammed with harassment, intimidation. What the fuck?
Yep.
And he pretty much just said to me, bro, the system is designed that you are guilty until you're proven innocent now. Someone can walk into the police station and they can say, I am feeling intimidated. I am feeling harassed. This person's harassing me. And then bang, it's an AVO. And then it's up to you to prove your innocence in the court.
Yep, absolutely. And I learnt that the hard way last year.
Right.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. And fuck, man, I then found NLP, which is the certification I have. Went to the Gold Coast, studied NLP, came back after I did that for a week, moved up there, then did another 2 weeks and did my master's in hypnosis. It fucking flipped my world upside down.
Yep.
It gave me the tools I didn't know existed. It also showed me the reality of the world, and it also showed me the control that I can have of my mental state and my physical state. It changed me, man. It's like, you know, I don't know if you ever watched Dragon Ball Z as a kid.
Absolutely.
Goku and Vegeta go in this time lapse.
Yeah.
And they come out Super Saiyan. Yeah. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Those 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It's like I walked in, like Daniel Bartlett, and I came out.
That's where you come out. It's all right.
Yeah. And I came out Super Saiyan, man. And I fell in love in NLP too.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah, great. I thought it was love. Now that I look at it, being the lessons that I've learned, massive trauma bond.
Yeah.
So I didn't learn from that one when I lived across the road, and I didn't learn from her. We'll just call her Sally.
Yep.
I didn't learn from Sally that relationship. And then I've got myself into another one.
Yeah.
A stripper. She also done NLP. And I've just walked straight into this other one. Fucking just as toxic, man. Just as toxic. And then ended in another fucking AVO. And I was like, I remember I had to, she kicked me out. I called her bluff. I said, I'm not going. It's 10:30. Kicked me out. I was like, I'm not fucking going. And then she goes, if you don't go, I'm just going to walk across the road and tell the police. And I'm like, well, you know what that's going to do. And you're going to break so many boundaries there. She's like, I don't care. I'm like, go on then, do it. Boom, called my bluff. Went over there straight up. Mate, you got to go. Fuck another AVO. Fuck. I remember staying at my mate's place in Burleigh there. And I was just another wave of anxiety.
And is that all who you had there, obviously? Just your mate?
But these guys, I just met in NLP too.
Yeah.
So I had nowhere else to go. All my other friends and families back here in New South Wales. And I'm in Gold Coast. I moved my whole fucking apartment up there, bro. Whole apartment. Because I had lived by myself for 4 or 5 years and I was loving it. And then bang, I got into these 2 relationships. But that one relationship, that last toxic one, that I'm super fucking grateful it happened because it changed me again. So I walked into NLP after that toxic relationship, got myself into another toxic relationship, and then it fucking just fully changed me about everything. And I went, right, there's something that I'm doing wrong. It's not someone, I'm not just meeting the wrong people. It's I'm doing something wrong in me. I'm attracting these wrong people.
Putting yourself in that position.
So I went, right, what do I need to do? So I just went straight down everything I learned in NLP. Right, what happened in my childhood? What did I think love was? Well, I thought love was arguing all the time.
That's it.
I got taught that relationships were hard. My mum and dad always argued. And they were always fighting, abusing each other. So that's what I thought love was. So of course I'm going to attract that into my life.
That's right.
But once I'd done that, man, I then moved back to, after spending Christmas too by myself, I ended up getting fucking on the piss around Christmas, and I was just by myself, and I was just like, fuck, I don't want to be this lonely and sad and depressed ever again. And then moved back to New South Wales here, and moved in with my mate who also done NLP, but he was living in New South Wales, and me and him just bounced off each other really, really well. I dug deep for like 6 months, went inside real deep, faced every fucking shadow I could, changed every fucking belief I could. And then I did 555 again for the 3rd time. And then after that, I fucking started connecting with an amazing woman who's now my partner, who's sitting in over there on the couch. And that's what I know true love is. Like, we never argue, never disrespect. It's just pure love.
That's right. Exactly. That's beautiful. Yeah. That's That's exactly what you want, you know, and you figuring out that yourself, it just shows your self-development. Like, it's amazing. And it's beautiful, and it's awesome to hear.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. And yeah, the biggest takeaway from doing those challenges was that mental resilience. So, you know, obviously running 5Ks every 5 hours for 5 days, it brings on some pain. It brings on that fucking bitch voice in your head.
That voice is there.
Stay in bed. But
Yep.
what I did was I mapped having control that aspect of myself over into the relationship.
Yep.
Because obviously I get annoyed.
Yeah.
You know, everyone gets annoyed, everyone
Absolute-
gets angry, everyone gets sad, everyone gets fucking
You're human.
hurt, right? We're fucking human.
Yep.
We're emotional beings.
That's right.
However, I'm not lashing out, or I'm not saying, oh, well, fuck you, or this or
Exactly.
that. I'm just in control.
Yep.
And I can communicate heaps better where it doesn't blow up.
And that's where I think a lot of relationships break down as well, as communication
100%.
or lack of,
Yeah,
you know.
100%.
And that's what I've sort of figured out in my own relationships is now the communications is a massive key now, and I'm still trying to work on that myself as well. But I feel like just being there, listening and communicating. Yeah. I think that's one of the two or most important things in a relationship that you can do.
Yeah, and I would 100% agree. So that's what I teach in the brotherhood. So when you can understand your own thoughts, right, and be observant of your emotions, you can start to control your actions and your emotions.
Yeah.
And when you can do that, you're in full control of your reality. Mm-hmm. And then when you're in full control of your reality, you can tell if someone's going to affect you or not. You can react not from a place of hurt, but you can react from a place of consciousness. You can act from a place of peace or love or compassion.
Yeah.
And that, like, fuck, man, that just changed my whole aspect of it as well. Like, even, you know, out in the public, you're going to get some, you know, wankers. And I remember recently, well, when I say recently, probably maybe well over a year ago, because she hadn't moved in yet. And I was driving from the gym, going through the traffic lights, and some guy was walking in the middle of the road, and he had a nice jersey on. I was beeping at him.
Yeah.
And as I drove past, he's punched me fucking side.
Yeah, right.
And I've gone, you fucking bastard. So I've fucking foot down, done a U-turn, come over, and I found him. I've grabbed him by the neck, by the scruff of the neck, and I just remember fucking feeling this rage fucking when I was a teenager, right? I remember feeling it. And I was like, I'm going to fucking kill him. But as that came up, I sort of just took that control and just had him.
Become self-aware.
And I'm sure you as a boxer, you know how to fucking control that yourself. And I had him, and then it just fully changed. And I went, I'm going to come from a place of compassion, but still hold that as my threat.
Yep.
And then fucking, I was like, right, give me your phone, give me your shit. I want to get the details. And then old mate pulled over next to me. He goes, I said, I'm going to let you go, and you're going to calm down. And we let go, and he went, all right, I'll give you my... And then ran.
Oh, he's taking off.
Yeah, he's taking off. And I was like, you motherfucker.
Oh, well, look, it could have been a lot worse than what it was, you know.
Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah, like, that was my biggest... When I went through even that little bit then, like, having that control of that anger, that's when I was like, holy shit, like, you really have learned.
Yeah,
you really
that's
have
right.
learned a lesson. You could have really hurt that guy, and you probably 5 years ago would have really hurt that guy.
Yeah.
And then where would that have ended?
Exactly.
You know?
That's what I mean.
If I really hurt him, I went to jail.
Yeah, that's right.
How would that impact on my son?
Exactly. You know? Spot on.
And the biggest reason for me changing my mental health was my son.
Yeah, beautiful.
So I haven't really shared this before, and you're probably the second person I'm going to explain this to. I haven't even told my partner this, but I got the Grim Reaper on my arm, and that was the first tattoo I got. And everyone thought it was a tough tattoo, because if you just get like a forearm tattoo and you don't have anything else, it's like, oh, you fucking got a tough tattoo. So I got this Grim Reaper tattoo. It was the only one. And the reason I got that was because death is never too far away, and the Grim Reaper is never too far away. So when all that shit was happening with Caden's mum, and I hadn't seen him for 5 months, I was actually tying up a noose of rope.
Yeah.
And Dad was away. Dad was staying with me at the time. Dad was away, and I fucking we had these wooden beams up in this house at Wanji, and I've tied the rope around it, tied it all up, and I was ready just to fucking climb my neck through the loose. And out of nowhere, my phone just lit up. Like, I didn't get a message. I didn't get anything. It just lit up. And as it lit up, because it was almost dark time, as it lit up, it was just a photo of my son
Yeah.
on my phone.
Yeah.
And then I went, fuck, what am I doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
What am I
Wow.
doing to him?
Powerful.
Yeah.
Powerful. Thank you.
mate.
Thanks. That's beautiful.
Yeah, and then after that, I just went, right, I need to do whatever I need to do just for my son. So I'm going to fight at court. I'm going to do
Exactly.
that shit for my son. And yeah, I got that just to let me know that the Grim Reaper is never too far behind. And
Yep.
you can't really control when death's going to come and get you, but you can live your life to the fullest before it does.
That's right.
Or you can live your life to the fullest, and when it does come, there's no regrets.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then on the other side, I've got the Angel of Life, which obviously represents Angel of Life, so death and life, man.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was deep for me at that time. And then that's when I went down the road of going to the GP.
Yeah.
I was like, I need to go to the GP.
That's it.
I'm not well.
Seek help.
Seek
Yep.
help.
That's it.
So I went to the GP, mental health plan.
Yep.
Then antidepressants. So I got antidepressants. I was on those for like 2-3 years. Still drinking. So I was coping with drinking. And yeah, fucking, I ended up getting off them. I'm not an advocate now for antidepressants.
Yeah.
I don't believe in antidepressants, but if you feel like you need them to help yourself, and it is help, fucking by all means do it.
Do it. Absolutely.
100%.
Yep.
Do it, but just do it, and then work on getting off them by doing
That's right.
things that benefit
That's
you.
right. Reevaluate.
Reevaluate.
And different things work for different people.
100%, 100%. Obviously, medications there to help. Do I believe in all the medications? No. I come from a very holistic point of view now. I don't drink. I know you're going sober this year too.
Yeah.
So am I. Haven't had a drink since New Year's Eve. And even last year, I think I got tipsy twice in a year.
Yeah.
And this year, I've really see the effect after you have a drink.
Oh yeah. It's bad.
It's bad.
It's bad for everything. Your mental health, your physical health,
poison.
everything. Yeah, it literally is a poison.
So I'm going this year, just not even a fucking drop.
Awesome.
And really toning in on my diet.
Yeah.
So I'm in ketosis at the moment, doing keto. Done carnivore a few times, loved it. When I was doing 555 challenges, I was always doing carnivore. People would tell me, fuck, you need carbs. No, you don't. I just needed meat.
That's right.
And being ketosis, that's when I had the most energy. And yeah, man, fucking really gonna go in strong.
That's it. I love that.
Yeah.
Yes, nice. That's what I want to do as well. Dive in. Let's do it. Yeah, so I guess I'll speak about a little bit of what I've been through. So growing up, in my later teenage years, I started boxing or whatever, and then in my early 20s when I turned professional, was always up and down emotionally my whole life since I can remember, as a little boy all the time. But it got sort of worse as I got older. In my 20s, and I would fight. I'd go out and fight, and I'd win my professional fights, and then the next day or the week or whatever, a few days later, I'd be having massive lows after a big win, and I couldn't make sense of it. And then so this was happening for a while, and what wouldn't help as well is after I'd do that, after I'd have a win, I'd go out and fucking party, like hard, fucking all the drugs and 2 or 3 day benders and fucking just drink, whatever. And obviously that's not gonna fucking help. And so I did that, and then there was one massive win. I think it was like the world title fight, and then I had a massive down the next few days. And then me and my partner at the time, we went on holidays. And then I was just like so down on the holiday, and I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm self-aware of it. And I was like, why the fuck is this happening? Like, I don't know why. Like, the holiday finished, got home, and then it got really bad. Like, probably the worst I've ever felt. And I wrote a letter to, which only a couple of people know about this, that I wrote a letter to my father, mother, and my partner at the time. And it was basically, I was gonna, and I had the gym as well.
So one of those letters.
Yeah, one of those letters. Yeah, and then
see you later letter.
Yep, and I remember crying for ages just at home by myself. I know this was after I got back from holidays, and I hadn't even drunk it. And I was awesome. I felt good, And then I was just crying, and I rang my partner at the time. I could remember the conversation. Saying, "Please come home. I don't know what's wrong with me. I just really need you here." Like, and she obviously couldn't just drop and leave work. And then I was like, and I already planned out what I was going to do. I was going to go down to the gym because I had a gym at the time, and I was going to on the chains of the punching bags. Anyways, similar to what you were saying about your phone lit up, but I was looking after my daughter, and then my second daughter, and she was crying in the room. And I was like, went into the room, still bawling my eyes out and crying, and I started to comfort her. And as she started to calm down, I started to calm down, and I eventually come out of it, and I said to myself, like, what is going on? Like this, I need to go get help. And like the day ended up becoming fine, but I always say like she saved my life that day because I just got to comfort her. And then I spoke to my partner at the time about it, and then that's what I was saying. I went to the doctors, and the hardest part was just walking in and then speaking to the GP and then getting that mental health assessment. But yeah, it's and then they diagnosed me with depression. And like doctors these days are like, if that doesn't work, we'll take this one, and like they'll just keep doing it, and that's what they were doing with me. And then I was taking antidepressants, but I was still getting manic highs. And I was speaking to one of I think it was like GP or maybe my physician or something like that. I'm still getting the manic highs, and it was like, oh my God, if you're getting the manic highs while you're on the antidepressants, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, right.
So we think you got manic bipolar, and then so I'm on Valparate now, which I'm not on now. That's why I'm probably getting a bit manic. I'm trying to slow down me talking, but I can't. So yeah, that levels me out. It does, but after like a couple of weeks, I start to become like just emotionless. Like I'm just zoned out. Like people are talking to me. I'm like, oh yeah, 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 and then I'm like, fuck, I can't. So I feel like I don't want to be reliant on that medication for life.
No.
I don't want to be there and just do that. I want to try and take control some other way. So yeah, and then that was it. And then, so yeah, and then I've been in a couple like toxic relationships myself. And I think a big part of it as well was because I've always sort of put boxing first. And that's been like my whole life, like even still to this day. Boxing is just my number one. And like I feel like sometimes, with my second partner who has Audrey and Gary, I think it's one of the biggest things that me and her went our separate ways is because we had the gym and we just sort of grew apart because we were just focusing so much on the gym and not our family life and being actually in love. And then that got toxic, and we would come home from the gym and would argue and, fuck you, fuck this, whatever. And then it got to the point where we're doing it in front of the children. And then that's where you got to that's where we drew the line. I was like, it's better to have two separate happy homes than what this is. And then that's what we did. And you know what, I'm happy we did it, but that's life, isn't it? And my job now is for the kids is just to reassure them as they grow up. Me and their mummy always loved each other, but that's just sometimes things don't work out, and that's how it is. But yeah, so and I've got a young fella now, and I'm in a relationship with his mum at the moment, and things are all right, I guess. But you still have the things you go through. Things always change, especially because of my boxing as well, because I'm still boxing now, and sometimes that gets in the way. Yeah.
Well, I think it's important to, obviously men need purpose in life.
Yeah.
To get out of that depressive state. So when a lot of men, if they come to me, I go, okay, what do you strive towards? Oh, nothing. So it's important to find purpose. So you've got boxing as your purpose, right? And that's just, you're a boxer and you're fucking good at it. If you haven't seen this guy box, go and watch his last fight. Holy fuck. And so boxing for you is, I guess, your kind of meditation.
Yeah, that's right. And I thought to myself in saying that is like, I thought about quitting for the family, but then I thought to myself, what am I showing my children from me doing something and then not following it all the way through? What kind of message does that send to the kids, know? Yeah.
No, I think it's important to really keep that purpose because in some way, like your boxing would be your antidepressant.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
Yeah,
when I go for runs, bro, it's just me. There's nothing else. It's me, the music, and sometimes when I'm running, I forget I'm running.
exactly.
I'm just
Yeah,
in the zone.
yeah,
Be the same for you when you're boxing. You're just in the zone. However, like we got to try and balance out. Like I call it the putting on the different hats. You know, the boxing hat, the
yeah,
father hat,
yeah.
the employee hat, the work hat. You got to put on these different hats, and it can get really, really overwhelming at times. And sometimes you might not want to put the hat on, but you want to put this hat on, and but you
Yeah,
can't. You got to put this hat on, and someone's whinging that you got the other fucking hat on. It's like I can't fucking win. You
that's
feel like
right.
you're just getting torn here, torn there, but then that's when I believe comes in, like being able to handle that, and then the leadership comes into play. You know, like for me and my partner, yeah, and at the moment I'm working 6 days a week. And then I've got clients in the afternoons and evenings, and then now we're doing the podcast on the weekends. So it's, where's our time?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
where's our quality time? So
yep.
we try and do a date night once a week or once a fortnight.
That's
We went
right.
on a date night last night, which we haven't been on for a while. So it's one thing that I really want to make sure we're doing more of, because
Absolutely.
I really love my relationship, and
Yep.
I really value it a lot.
That's
I've
right.
never been in such a conscious, healthy relationship
Yep.
before. So I want to hang on to it. But it's also important for me to, get into my trading. I really love trading. So I've got to spend a couple of hours a week trading. And
Yep.
then the coaching and the Lions Den Brotherhood, like all these things. So I'm putting energy here, energy there, energy here and energy there. But it's mostly me about managing it and really having that support from my partner, like who's
Yeah.
communicating
That
to
and that
me.
makes all the difference.
100%.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just like you said, it's just at the end of the day, it comes down to your time management.
Yeah.
And you got to execute your time management properly. And if you don't, then it's going to throw everything out of whack
Yeah,
that you're doing.
100%. Time
Yeah.
management, communication,
Yeah.
again, like,
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
hey, babe, this is where I want to go. I want to get to this title fight. If I get to this title fight, this is what it's going to mean for us as a family.
Yes.
I would really love your support. What I'm going to do for you to make sure we get more time is I'm going to spend this much time with you this week, and it's just going to be fucking me and you present.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, my partner knows that, I want to become a funded trader and step away from being on the tools as a scaffolder rigger,
Yeah.
which will open up way more time for us to hang out and
Absolutely.
do what we really
Yep.
want to. But right now, I'm just chock-a-block. And
Yeah.
I want to go back and play soccer this year.
Yep.
So there's more time
That's right.
that I'm
Yeah.
putting, like, our relationship
That's it.
into
No, you're
something
right.
else. But
Yeah.
I've never played football with this mindset before. I was always getting red cards,
Yeah.
yellow cards, or fighting on the field, or letting anger get the best of me on the football field, especially the last few years I played. But this year, I've never been in so much control of my mindset. So
Yeah.
now I want to
You want to put
play
it to the
again
test.
and
Yeah.
put it to the test.
Yeah,
I reckon
that's
I'll be
it.
even fucking better.
100%. Yeah, I guarantee it.
Yeah, heaps better. So yeah, man, that's kind of where I'm at now, is growing the brotherhood. I want to help, and I know you do too, as many men come into the brotherhood, so
Yeah.
we can guide them to become better men.
Yeah.
In the brotherhood, you've only just recently joined and you're going through the videos now and stuff, but we work on 4 pillars now. It was 3, and that's life, which is where you'll find purpose, which is where you'll find your values. You'll have your goals, where you've been and where you're going based on where you've been. And then we go on to the mind, how to control your emotions, how to be aware and observant of your actions and your thoughts. Because we repeat the same thoughts over and over and over again each day. So if we're having negative thoughts one day, we're going to have negative thoughts the next day.
Yep.
So if you can take control of those thoughts, flip that, then you're going to set up yourself for a much more happier life.
Yep.
So we work on, controlling that, controlling your emotions, controlling your actions, and then we go into the body. So the importance of exercise,
Yeah.
the importance of what you're ingesting into your body, alcohol, drugs, fast food, shitty food.
That's right.
All that kind of shit plays an effect on your mental health.
Absolutely.
And there's heaps of research now on the shit that you eat is affecting
Yeah.
mental health.
Yep.
You are what you eat. You
Yeah.
eat shit, you're gonna feel shit.
That's right. Yeah.
And then the 4th pillar is wealth.
Yep.
I'm sure everyone that's watching this can feel that financial stress here and there, or they have felt that financial
Absolutely.
stress. Inflation's going through the fucking roof. The cost of living's going up.
It's crazy.
So we
Yeah.
need a side hustle, or we need
That's
to
it.
strive to earn more fucking money.
That's right.
And do
Yeah.
something. And I feel like when men are striving to that goal, they're fucking much more better, much more happier.
And like you said, it gives purpose as well.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And like if you are in that time in your relationship where fucking your relationship is shit and you're constantly arguing and you're drinking more than you should and you're eating and your body's starting to look like a fucking melted candle and all these things, maybe take a step back and go, is this who you want to be in 12 months' time? If not, then just start the change now.
It's like self-sabotage, isn't it?
Right, 100%. 100%. And fucking, I remember, so I'm scaffolder rigger and doing power station shutdowns when I'm working away a lot. And I was working up at Bayswater at Muswellbrook and other places, and fucking you do a 10, 12-hour shift, go down to the pub. 4, 5, 6 schooners, pub fee.
That's right.
You do that for 3 months,
and
bro,
you know what?
like a Teletubby.
Exactly. And that's, you know what's crazy? That's the fucking Australian culture.
Yeah,
that's
100%.
Australian culture. Like we're born and as even, you know, young, like tradies, the cadet apprenticeships, man, that's how they're brought into straight away. And I feel like that is just crazy to me. I just feel like, man, you're setting everybody else to have unhappy lives.
Yeah. And then what's that doing? Okay, well, most men like that have kids. So what are your kids seeing?
Yeah.
Oh, dad goes to work, comes home, drinks beers, doesn't really show me much attention, plays on his phone.
That's it.
That's what dad does. That's what I'm going to do. So
That's
you're
right.
teaching your kids. So
exactly.
if you, like I say to people, if you really love your fucking kids, like if you would do anything for your kids, then change your fucking life.
That's right. Change your ways.
Yeah,
Yep.
change your ways, change your life. Make better choices. When you do that, you're being the best fucking man you possibly can.
That's right. And be the best version of yourself.
Fuck yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
100%, man. 100%. So where are you going now in life? What's next?
Look,
Blake Minto from the shoe.
Look, like we've been touching on, like I really want to be a healthier, better version for myself and for my children. Yeah. You know, that's number one for me. And boxing helps as well because like it keeps me on this like straight and narrow. Like and when I'm focused on a fight, I want to be like that, but like year round, where I know what I want. I know I'm putting good shit. I'm eating good stuff. I'm exercising daily, and that's where I want to go. But that's the direction I want to go, and just work there and be there, be present for my children. That's all I really want. And like my goal, when growing up as a young fella, I want to be a really good boxer or whatever. But my goal now is just I want to be the best dad to my kids. That's all I want. That's all I want.
Yeah, they're lucky to have you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely lucky to have you. So this is what we're going to be doing every week, but we're going to be bringing other people on to tell their story. We've got a few people lined up in the next coming weeks to tell their story based around mental health, family court, relationships, what they've struggled with, and where they're at now. So this will be growing. I really appreciate you guys watching and supporting us. Thanks for joining me, brother.
Thank you.
Fucking legend.
Thank you. It was awesome. It was awesome.
Lions Den Men's Brotherhood. If you want to change your ways, hit me up. And yeah, me and Blake will be doing the Untold Story.
Reach out.
Untold Story of Men podcast. And this is the start of something big, man. So I appreciate you. And I appreciate you guys for watching.
Absolutely.
And let's fucking go.
Woo! Awesome, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Awesome.
Cheers, man.